If I need to make more copies, I can. Are you not seeing? It's supposed to say this meeting is being broadcast on Facebook Live. It says it here, but it's meant to are you broadcasting? It is! Okay, it didn't say it, but okay, good. I don't know why it didn't say it. It always gives us that little, announcement. But as long as we're live, excellent. Welcome, those of you here and those online joining us later. Glad that you were able to come to our August PAC meeting. I'm so excited to be having a good turnout this year. This is just marvelous. It makes a huge difference as we have parent collaboration instead of just figuring it out all on our own. So I'll put the agenda up on the screen. Is it actually? I can see it here. Okay, good. That way I should be able to see if any comments come in. Okay. And that's there. Perfect. So, welcome again. I'm so glad that each of you are here. I did what I promised I would do. And got the badges ready for everybody who's here. So, your first round of bronze, and several of you are already now on to number 2 of the 4 to get up to the next level. So you can put your magnet and display it proudly. I do have a couple of random magnetic little ravens also because I don't like wasting space, and there was this much space left on the bottom of the page when I was making these. So if anybody wants a little magnetic raven, there are some random ravens there too. Just because, I can. So, thank you for coming. Show off your bling and tell others about how cool it is to get involved and participate. We have been having a lot of enrollments coming in. We have gone up 25 since last month at this time. We're still 4 fewer than last year at this time, like last August's PAC meeting. But school just started. We even had a couple more today that enrolled, so I didn't add in today's since I did this yesterday. So we are sure that we're in a good place. We're not worried about our numbers or anything, but definitely still spread the word. If you know of anybody who's looking, we've got a lot of FCCS families that are doing dual enrollment this year. Our numbers are way higher than ever for those, which is exciting to see them being able to benefit from both options and getting some of those funds to be able to support homeschooling, even though they're also full-time in private school. So it's a really cool way to be able to do that. Got some public school dual enrollments too. Those ones are a lot more tricky, but I feel like being able to support the families who are choosing private school as well. If you want any promotional things to hand out or post or whatever, let us know and we'll get you, that kind of stuff so you can help us with sharing the word. For activities, I want to breeze through some of them quickly because we're going to be having more stuff coming out about it. And I don't want to spend too much time like we did last time since we talked a lot about different things last month and then get to some of the other newer stuff. So for weekly and monthly activities, definitely keep watching the newsletters for reminders. For open house next week, we're going to have a lot of these announced, and we'll have a whole wall of sign-ups so you can sign up and see the information about each of the different ones with QR codes and that kind of stuff to be able to do that. The button on our weekly newsletter has the links for being able to sign up for all those things. It really, really helps us when we know how many people to expect. Yesterday for chess club, there were probably at least 6 kids that hadn't RSVP'd, and so the difference in planning and prepping and setting stuff out is huge. So even though that's not required, very appreciated. So, and all of you who RSVP'd today, thank you. That really helped me too to know how much space to set up and Kellen to be able to get set up beforehand, because I know last month it was we have a lot of kids. We went from 1 to 8 or 10 overnight. So it makes a difference. And I will try to do better about getting them out earlier. This month has been a little crazy. So I realized all of a sudden, oh, it's tomorrow. I haven't sent that out. Oh, no. We have moments like that, and I appreciate everybody's patience. So chess club is continuing. 3:15 to 4:15. We still had a bunch of people yesterday who showed up early. We're getting into that swing of that time difference. But that enables even those dual enroll kids who in school at 3 to be able to get picked up and dropped off over here. There aren't a whole lot of activities that we do that late in the day, so we try to have a few things where they can get involved, even though they're attending the school all day. So that's the reason for that timing change and doing it at 3:15 instead of 3 o'clock, like we do over the summer. Yeah, so it'll work out well with that. The 5th through 8th grade girls gathering. We announced that last month, but the time and date has changed. So Jamie Zellhuber is the one that's going to be leading that, and she. We do have somebody watching on Facebook. Yay! She. So it's now instead going to be on the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays from 12:30 to 2, and I think most of you in here have boys. It doesn't actually affect you. But those online who are watching later know that the girls' gathering has adjusted, and I got it all updated on the online sign-up, so if you go and view it, you'll see the correct dates and stuff. We just got that sorted out like a day or two ago. Adventures in Bookland, I'm so excited about that getting started. Katie told us all about it last time, so if you don't know about it, go watch last month's PAC meeting and you'll hear all the cool things we're going to do. And the kickoff is on August 31st. So excited. I want to do it with you guys. Science Fridays. I mentioned this briefly last time, but Donna's been working on getting things put together. So it's going to be the 1st and 3rd Fridays. Most of the time, there's a couple months with holidays that it shifts just a little bit, but generally it's going to be the 1st and 3rd Fridays from 2 to 4. It's going to begin on September 15th, and I need to get the rest of the information of how she wants it advertised and the sign up and stuff. Have it ready before next week. And she's been telling a lot of families about it, and she's going to be doing these origami organelles and different science projects and all kinds of cool stuff. It's really going to be worth coming. So mark your calendar for that, and like I said, we'll have to sign up before open house next week. And in conjunction with that, Beth is also going to be doing middle school math club again, and so that's going to be the 4th or the last Friday of the month based on kind of how it falls. Again, there's a couple of months where it shifts because of holidays, but generally that's what it is. So we're going to have the 1st, the 3rd, and the 4th taken up with that. And we thought we were only going to be having 2 Fridays taken up with that last month when we were planning. So I was looking at we talked about doing show and tell story time and the monthly movie pajama party on the opposite 2 Fridays. So it's a little bit tricky now because I only actually have one that doesn't have those things. So I figured the 2nd Friday would be a good one for the movie and pajama party because that's totally different and that relates to all ages. We'll have to make some a little different because of when Science Friday or Math Club moves. But generally I'm working on getting that settled as close to the 2nd Friday as possible. But then with the monthly show and tell and story time and Mad Lib stuff, I was wondering, because Math Club for middle school is just for middle school, and I doubt there's going to be very many middle schoolers who are going to want to come to show and tell story time, Mad Lib time. What if we did it the same day of the month, just did it in the morning instead of the afternoon? Do you think, and I don't know if any of you had said that you'd be interested in doing it or not, or your kids would be interested. Do you think a morning option would nix people being able to come or wanting to come? If it was like at 10 o'clock?
My kids personally do the homework stuff at 10 in the morning.
At 10 Fridays? Okay.
Because that's your homeschool class.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so not 10 a.m.
But I think she could like to.
Right, it doesn't affect
a big impact.
Right.
But I don't know what that looks like for everybody else.
Right. Yeah. And if it's a once a month thing, but we can't avoid a conflict, I would want to. We could do like 1 o'clock. She's doing math club from 3 to 4. So we could do 1 to 2. We could just not do it at all. But I really think it'd be fun if we get, and it's one option to be able to do, or like the hybrid option. Well, but actually, if I do it at 10, then I'm not going to have Calvin here, so I shouldn't do it at 10. Nope, nix that idea. 11. What if we did 11:30? But then they're going to be getting hungry.
What if you did like a lunch bunch idea and invited them to bring like pack their own lunch and have it be like a picnic idea, kind of where they
That would be
can
fun.
where they can have their lunch together and do their show and tell.
And I
kind
could
of
read to
thing.
them while they're eating.
Yeah.
Keep their hands busy.
And their mouths shut.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. When I was doing it online, I just muted them. You know, it worked great.
The best way to do read alouds at home.
There's some snacks.
Yes, I like
Oh, that's a
that.
great idea.
I like that. Okay, so 11:30 to 12:30 with lunch there, so that you do like the show and tell portion from 11:30 to 12.
Are strongly reminding them that they are responsible for bringing their own lunch. Or
Right.
you're gonna have hangry kids.
Right.
But that would be
Yeah, but 11:30 would mean like from 11:30 to 12 we could do the show and tell part, and then pull out your lunch bag, and you eat while I'm reading to you.
Yeah.
And we can do the bad looks and stuff too.
You said 11:30 to 12:30.
11:30 to 12:30. And then I'll have Calvin too. So that will be fun. Yay, thank you. I knew you guys would have brilliant ideas. You ladies. Okay, good. Got that settled. And then the monthly movie pajama party stuff will alternate the different, movies that we do and make sure they're good for a whole range of ages. Oh, let's make art. We had talked about doing the parent activity monthly on a Saturday. I don't know what Saturday of the month would be good necessarily, if we want to say like the, second Saturday. Seems like usually holidays fall later in the month when we have them. And I know like for us, we have like the first Saturday of the month, there's stuff that goes on.
Does that mean you're here anyway? Somebody?
Oh, well, one of us will have to be here to do it. I just mean, like, it seems like typically if there's like things that are recurring on Saturdays, for us it's always been like a first Saturday of the month is when things happen oftentimes. So if we did it like on the second Saturday, maybe that would be a freer Saturday.
Maybe. Downtown always does second Saturday. Or is it second Friday?
First Friday.
Okay. No, I thought there was something that was just like a second Saturday. I think you're on something there with the second Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't
I
think.
know there's a lot of stuff that happens downtown on reoccurring some days of the
Okay.
week.
I avoid downtown like at all costs. So
Clearly I
Until
never go
October.
because I don't know.
until what's in October?
that's when the cruise ships are done.
Oh yes,
And
right.
then you can go
And
back
then you
to
can
being
actually
a normal person.
Yes. Right. Okay, well, I'll see if I can Google it and see if there's either the second or third Saturday has something, and then we could start doing that. I need to send out the survey still. We had said we wanted to send out a survey to kind of, see who might be interested in leading what types of things, but kind of that date theme, I think it would be a lot of fun. And we talked about either 6:30 to 8:30 or 7 to 9. Has anybody thought about which might be better option for after dinner time and before, like, what time would be good for babysitters or older siblings to be doing that? I don't know because I don't have kids. Okay, either one. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll put that in the survey then too. What do you think? And then it's not that much different, but some people are like 9 o'clock. Oh, it's so late.
Just like out of your teachers, like whoever's going to be here, if more people have a preference.
Right. Yeah, and we'll try and do a rotation so we can see who wants to do what. Parent book club resumes this month. For August, we've been reading Remarkably Bright Creatures. Remarkably Bright Creatures. And I haven't sent out the flyer about that yet, but I hopefully will in the next day or two. It's a not too long of a read, really. You read it probably pretty fast too. You've read a lot this summer, so I have a copy on my desk if anybody wants to see it. And we are going to work on having a kid activity at the same time, so that way there'll be something for the kids to do as well. I need to talk to Kellen about that. I think we had talked about him coming in just an hour early that one day a month and getting extra, time for that. So we can have a student activity too. Marvelous Mondays will be resuming in September. September will be a little bit weird because the first Monday is a holiday and the last Monday is our high school creativity camp. So for September, it'll be like the first two groups will be combined on the second Monday and the middle school and high school will be combined on the third But then after that, October should get to the usual routine. So I'll be sending that stuff out again, getting everything ready before next week's open house. For Battle of the Books, we didn't talk about this last month, but we are up for creating teams based on the interest. Each of the teachers are going to like take a different team, so it's not all in one person like Tracy did all of them last year. Each of the teachers is going to coach a team based on what the interest is for it. So we'll put out a flyer for that and be able to start getting interest next week at open house. Joan is going to have like a little Battle of the Books booth table spot where she can tell people about it, show them what the book lists are, that kind of stuff, and start getting interest to see, you know, who might want to do each of them. And we figure we'll start practicing in October. Last year we started in like the beginning of September, and it felt like a little bit too long. The kids were going, oh my goodness, how many times we can talk about these same books? So we'll give them a little bit longer to start reading them and wait to start practicing until a little bit later this year. Any questions so far? Don't see any things here yet. I don't want to rush too fast, but I also want to make sure we're moving along. Okay, parent workshops. Last year, the teachers led parent workshops one Saturday a month, not Saturday, sorry, one day a month. It was like the first Thursday of a month or something like that was what we did. And we covered topics of, you know, how to do progress reports, how to teach your kid to read, how to teach your kid to write, kind of like homeschool 101, how to organize your day, whole bunch of different types of things like that. We haven't explored whether or not to continue them this year. We have recordings of all the ones we did last year, so our thought was if we did them, we kind of want to do something a little different than just what we did last year, because you can go on and watch exactly what we did and see the questions and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But interactive parent workshops are valuable, and we want to know, is that something that parents think would be useful? Last year we had sent out a survey, and it seemed like the answer was yes, and so we did them. But I don't know. Any thoughts, feedback on, like, would you attend a parent workshop, or would you be like, this is good amount of interactivity for me?
No, I totally would.
You would?
Yeah, when we lived in Anchorage, I participated in quite a few different ones when we do the big conventions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like it was really valuable because what I might use at home and what works for us, there might be a lot of other tools out there that
Right.
benefit us or the
Right.
different dynamic of kids.
Yeah.
And you don't really realize that until that's brought to your attention.
Right.
You know, when you get in your own groove or whatever.
Yeah, and seeing different curriculum options and different things. We just recently, in the last month, we've had a lot of new vendors get set up for purchase orders. I saw one on an ILP a day or two ago that I'd never heard of before, and so I went and looked at it. Seven Sisters. Have any of you ever heard of Seven Sisters before?
No.
It looks super cool. There's all these like middle school and high school and other kinds of different stuff that I'd never seen, and it was somebody going to be doing like an intro to filmmaking. Or no, it wasn't filmmaking. It was like a creative writing cinema. It was cinema, creative writing, something or other, where like they watch movies and write responses to it and do all this different stuff. I was like, that looks really cool. So even in my position, I'm constantly, you know, learning new curriculums that are out there and telling families about it and that kind of stuff. Because as soon as I see something that somebody likes, I'm like, ooh, let me tell everybody. They like it. So the thought is yes on parent workshops, maybe to have some different types of topics. We thought it'd be fun if we could have like specialists in different areas come in, and we did that for the reading workshop this last year, where we had a reading vendor who does tutoring come in, and she shared all kinds of stuff, and so that was really neat. The other ones our advisory teachers just did and kind of took turns on what they were sharing and that kind of stuff. But like IEW does great stuff, and we thought it'd be cool if we could organize some like people that know what things doing it. So would that kind of thing be fun too?
Depending on the topic, to
Yeah,
be
topic.
honest.
Yeah.
I didn't come to any of them last year.
Yeah.
There was a couple I was interested in. They happened to be on a time that I couldn't make it that week or whatever. But
Right.
a lot of the talks initially didn't seem like they would have benefited me because my kids were all past that phase
That's
or
right.
whatnot. So
Right.
the idea.
Right. Okay.
I think I'm in the same boat. It depends on what they are,
Right.
but also there's not anything right now that I can think of that I would want to
Right.
go to a workshop about. But Also, my mind is like mush right now, so
Yes. Start of school year
I don't
does
know.
that too, yeah. All right, so maybe if we put out a survey and said, hey, what topics would you find valuable for a parent workshop? And then kind of go based on that, maybe not doing it every single month or consistently, because like we did it the first, I think it was Thursday of each month at this time. Maybe like, oh, hey, we organized a workshop on this and this is when it's going to be, and kind of like varying it. Would that maybe be more?
Were they all well attended last year?
No.
Were any of them well attended?
I considered well attended 3 parents. But that's usually what I've considered well attended for a PAC meeting also. We did the same kind of thing that we do for our PAC meetings, where we broadcast it on Facebook so families could watch it at their own pace, and had it on Blue Jeans so they could attend and interact. We usually only had 2, 3, maybe 4 parents in attendance, but the recordings on our Facebook Live in our group usually got at least 20 views.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's where it's like in-person attendance, not super high, but views on Facebook, and you can't see how, did they watch it for 5 minutes? Did they watch the entire hour? I don't know. But at least it got a lot of people clicking on it and looking at it, and initiating that view. So I thought they were worthwhile, even to just get it out there of like, hey, especially now that we've got the recordings of all the ones we did last year, so we could point parents to, hey, I'm having trouble with, how do I teach my kid to read? Hey, watch this video. This was a workshop that we presented. Do that, and then, we can talk about some more ideas and, that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. I thought they were really good for
I think a
parents.
survey would be good, because also if people are saying they would like to learn about how to teach their child to read, then not to do a workshop, but to send out that
Right.
again,
Right.
so I think a survey would be good to see what people want to
Right.
learn.
Yeah.
To see
Awesome.
how often you should be planning.
Right.
Should it be a month? Is there enough interest
Is it-
for monthly, or maybe
Right.
just quarterly?
Yeah, because there were a few where it was like, okay, scraping our brains for what would we do as a topic for this month. October, it's really nice to do a parent progress report one, because it's like, okay, progress reports are due October 15th. We've got a lot of new families. We've got families who are returning but using different types of curriculum than they used before, or whatever. So doing one in October for how to do your progress reports. Bring your stuff in, we'll do it with you, kind of a thing. I think that one's very valuable. We had done, in September, we did like a welcome intro to homeschooling kind of a thing. But a lot of times at this point, the families have already met with the teachers and kind of done their intros there. So maybe we wait and just do one in October to start out with, and then see where those other topics are, and that would give us a little bit of time to plan some other kinds of ones based on when.
Or like navigating Brightways and finding forms has always been difficult for me.
Mhm.
I don't know why, but that one would be probably helpful for other parents that are incoming.
Well, and probably both Brightways.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Tech side of
Brightways.
Raven.
Well, in both Brightways and our website, because some things are in Brightways and some things are on the website, so it's like, which of these spots do I go to for it? And we did. Can't remember whether it was the intro to homeschool or the other one. There was one of them where I had a portion of it too, and I did do that last year, and I went through like the different resources that were available to families through Brightways and through the website, and I created a document that had them all listed on there. So I've got that and can share it with families, but also doing another walkthrough would probably be really good. And I probably can update that with some of the new things that we've just gotten added on. And I know that Kim has been working on getting some other resources available, like Accelerated Reader and a couple of different math and language arts resources for families to be able to access either at no or low cost. So that's been in the works. I need to ask her for an update on that. She told us that about a month ago, and that we were going to be getting information soon, and we haven't heard. So I should ask her about that, because we want to make sure that everybody knows what things they can access, either for free or at low cost. So, good stuff. If you think of other topics, let me know, and I'll write that down, too, to add to our list when I send out the survey. Here's some ideas, or add your own. Okay. Any questions there before we move on? Okay. DARE program. I just got an email from Officer Kreiderman about DARE for our 5th and 6th graders. It sounds like he's got a partner this year also doing it, which is awesome. So he's not going to have all of the schools just for himself. So he's going to be able to split it with a partner. And so they're going to be able to work on the scheduling. He said that most likely they will start in October. So he'd work with us on getting a schedule set and figuring out, what works for each of the different school groups and stuff. So as soon as I hear back from him on that, it was kind of like an initial welcome to the new school year, first week of school, here's my contact information, I'll be working with you to schedule, that kind of thing. And then said, yay, I'm looking forward to it. And we also usually organize a police station field trip in October. Why October? I don't know, but we've done it for ever. And usually, because it's getting close to Halloween time, they have candy. I don't know, one of those random things. But so we'll work on that. So probably both of those things will be there in October. And for those of you who don't know what DARE is, it's a drug awareness and resistance education program. I think that's what it stands for. And it's really great. He talks to them about peer pressure and how to say no and what types of things at their age they're going to be starting to get exposed to and how to recognize stuff and, just general, not just drugs, but how to interacting with people and knowing how to say no and being safe and all that kind of stuff. So it's really, really, really worth it. And we need at least 5 kids to make it happen. There have been years that we haven't been able to do it because we haven't been able to get 5 kids signed up. They meet once a week. It's a 10-week program. They've got a little graduation ceremony at the end. They get a t-shirt. Just give me a t-shirt a couple of years. Although this last year, all they had was large, and so it's like a dress on me. That was all that was left at the end. So it's like, my dear shirts. It's really a great program, and it's awesome that he comes in and does it for us. And it gives that presence, too, of the, that the police are a good thing and that there's safety and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah, every time he sees Kreiderman out, he's like, oh, and he wants to go say hi to him. And I like that. I want him to have
you want
a
that
positive view of
positive.
the police.
Yeah, he did it last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. I'm so thankful
He
for
really
it.
liked it. He really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
It's so good. I had never heard of anything like it until I moved here. I'm like, what?
You didn't do DARE as a kid?
No,
As a kid.
no, I grew up in California and I went to a small private Christian school. So I'm just one of those weird California people.
Explains a lot.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things that I never knew of until I moved up here. And so
It's actually cool. In high school, we did DARE every year.
Mhm.
The amount of kids I graduated with that are prison. It's like,
You were not
you were not paying
attention.
attention.
That's funny.
Where's your t-shirt?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he showed us all these ones at the end. He brought a whole bunch of the different ones from the different years and everything, so we could see all the different ones. And it was so cute to see the kids oh, I like that year. Oh, I like that year. That's my favorite. It was really cute to see them all picking which one they thought was the best.
And last year he designed the
did.
shirt.
Yeah, yeah, that was fun. Cool. Okay, so keeping on going. Lego Club and Lego League. I've had a number of people asking me about Lego League this year and whether we're going to do it and all that kind of stuff. The answer is if we can get coaches. The teachers, with everything they're doing, their caseloads of families and that kind of stuff, they don't have the ability to be coaches for it, just with everything else that's going on. We will certainly support it. We've got the Lego table. We can help with doing the purchasing, getting everything, all the financial side and organizing that kind of stuff. But we need 2 adult coaches per team to be able to do it. We usually have the littles that are kindergarten, first, second, and they're the junior. It used to be called junior. And third, can third go either way?
I think fourth.
Fourth can go either way.
I
Okay,
think third grade is
still
has to do the
Okay.
Explorer.
yeah, because you've got some third
So
graders.
this year's gonna be
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah. And I know I've seen the theme, but I can't think of what it is at the moment. But I know that they've started putting that out. I've heard from several teenagers who have done it before that want to help. So they're like, hey, is Lego League going on? We want to help this year. We want to, assist and everything. It's like, yes, if we can get adult coaches, because you're great, but we need adults to be the, on the books people, So I'm hopeful that we can get some adults to do that. And again, we'll have that information out for open house next week. Gauge interest, see who wants to volunteer, and then we can help them with, figuring out what it'll look like. Because it'd be nice to be able to do it again. The kids really enjoy it. But it is a lot of work.
Ask Mike to put a plug in at Coast Guard sector.
Yeah.
And I can reach out to the D17 morale committee. And
That'd be awesome.
see if they have any members that are maybe interested in like a service project type thing.
Yeah.
And see if we can get, so it's not just more
On
the
parents.
Yes. So that it can be like, no, here's some people who
Yeah.
are safe
Right.
humans, and so I don't know what. I think we had to do a background check.
Yep. Yeah. It's
So
got a whole
that's
background
not
check thing through
going
the
to be
system.
an issue because they all have to do that to even be in user.
Right.
So
Yes.
I can do that and
Yeah,
see if
that'd
I
be
can
great.
maybe alleviate
That'd be awesome.
some of the.
I'm sure
Pressure
you'd have
for
some
that.
people excited to geek out on Legos.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I know last year there were several Coast Guard members, particularly the officers who were looking for the OER stuff, that helped, but they helped in like the public school realm. I think possibly just because they have no clue
What's
that
available?
there's this whole
Yeah.
other side that
Right.
still needs assistance.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Coast Guard families that are homeschooling now, so it's not.
That's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's out there. It's part of it. So I can
Sweet.
see if we
That'd be
can-
awesome. Yeah. I would love for it not to have to be parents if there's some other adult that, would want to do it. It doesn't have to be parents. It's just that the teachers aren't able to manage it themselves. And I definitely can't. Cool. So, good stuff. Pokemon Club. Anybody think about it since last meeting? If you want to try
I'm
and...
willing to do it,
Okay.
but I'm in a really, I am just not good at making decisions right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like if I could get suggestions on days and times. Because
Okay.
I, right now, am I have a pretty open
How
calendar.
often do you want to do it?
I don't know. Because last time we were talking about how the girls were doing it.
I know, and they've
every other
changed
week.
now.
And it changed, but we did it every other week. It's probably going to be mostly boys, but we want it to be available to the girls that want to come too.
Do you want to do it two times a month? Because you Tuesdays and that time frame on
Tuesdays, like the second
So
and fourth?
if you kept the alternating bit
Yeah.
with the girls gallery.
Let me peek and see.
Or were you wanting to do it every week?
No, every other week's fine.
Yeah.
When we did this in Texas, every other week was just.
That wasn't enough. My husband says he wants to coach Lego League, so there's one.
Oh, marvelous.
When would
He's
it?
got a whole bunch of friends, right?
There's actually probably a lot of
Oh yeah.
people in there that are ready to just
That's awesome.
step out hardcore.
We could do the first and third Tuesdays, so it alternates with the second and fourth. Yeah, we could do the second and fourth because they're doing the first and third.
At the same time.
I don't know that you want it for an hour and a half. You think an hour and a half? Weren't they doing it for an hour?
Yeah, Jenny just did it for an hour.
Just an hour.
It was like
Yeah.
1 to 2, I think, when she
Okay.
did it. So
Would you want to do 1 to 2 on the second and fourth Tuesday?
Yeah, that's fine. Second and fourth.
gosh, Tuesdays are gonna be busy.
Tuesdays are our craziest day at the office because we have our staff meeting first thing, which usually takes us from just after 8 o'clock until like 9 or 9:30, and I have an admin meeting that I lead every other Tuesday at 10, and that usually goes 10 to 11, and then we've got other stuff too. So Tuesdays are like, yeah, we're not going to get anything done today.
Does it need to be different?
No,
Yeah,
because
I don't care.
no, it's fine because you guys are going to be leading it. It's not going to add to our busyness other than just people coming. But yeah, it's both of those things are things that we don't have to do anything with. So it's a busy day, but because we don't have to be involved other than just advertising, no problem.
And we
We've
can
got
have it-
chess club at 3:15 that will be
Are you
cleaning up
doing
from one
chess
to the other.
okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to have it butt up to chess? to go from like 2 to 3, and then you'd have like a 15-minute
That was really
break
rough last year when
with
we
the
did
Terrific
the
Tuesdays.
Terrific Tuesdays.
Okay.
There was enough time for like, well,
I'm just trying to think about parents who
Yeah.
are going to have their kids coming for multiple
Multiple
things,
things,
but it's like, okay, well, is it really worth going home for 45 minutes?
yeah. Well, 2 to 3:15 would be the gap in between the two. So an hour and 15 minutes. That's too long to hang out here.
I don't have a preference. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Oh yeah. No, I totally get that.
I don't have a preference. We did talk about having like a room for trading and a room for that, correct?
Mm-hmm. And we could do it between, this one and that one as long as we have access to it, or the counselor's room also on this side works as well. There's like a big oval table in there, and that could be used for sitting out. I don't know exactly what type of layout is good, standing tables.
Jenny just did tables, and they had them just no chairs. Like they had like a spot where the adults would usually sit and chat or crochet or do whatever, but then they just had tables laid out for the kids. They didn't even bother with chairs.
Yeah.
There's no reason that you couldn't. I mean, the trading maybe would need, I don't know. The kids just battled on the floor. Like,
Usually when it's boys too, they
they
need to
didn't.
move
They didn't care.
more so
It was-
even than girls usually.
Yeah.
So they'll just, That's set up.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, that's what we've done for chess club is just have this open, and that's been working out way better.
Like sandwich, they make better use of the space. I guess when it's less structured.
Yeah.
They aren't afraid to
Yeah,
get in there.
awesome. So 1 to 2, second and fourth Tuesday. Sound good? Marvelous. I can now get that on the sign up for announcing next weekend open house too.
When does that start then?
Let's start it in September. Does that sound good?
So many questions.
Let's start it September 12th. Is that okay?
Yes.
Executive decision. We also had some interest in a historical conquest club, and I know your sister was
Card
interested.
game that they did at the
Yes.
homeschool thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We've got several different families that have used it and have like a bunch of card sets and different stuff. And for a while there was a group that was meeting over an idea and doing it, but I don't think, are they not doing it anymore? Or we don't
did
know?
it all of last school year.
Okay.
I never went. We didn't have our own decks and
Right.
whatever.
So maybe do we need to reach out to IDEA and find out rather
If they're
than,
doing it?
rather than reinventing the wheel, find out if they're continuing it and if the Raven families are welcome,
Sure.
and just pawn that off on them.
I'll message them and ask about it.
And if Rochelle didn't want to do it, you can ask Helen.
Well,
No, I
Yeah.
He played historical conquest a lot.
Yeah, and I did ask him about it, and he said he would be totally up for helping with that. So it's super cool.
It's like a battle-y card game, but the kids are inadvertently learning really important. So it
It's
mixes
all about
historical
figures
media.
and stuff.
So you can have like an area and a time frame and important historical fixtures, but you blend them in the game so that they're learning about all of it. But when they battle, like it doesn't necessarily, like Genghis Khan might not necessarily be battling like in the right area of the world or in the right time frame. He might be battling in like the Industrial Revolution era. It's I could not help my children. I bugged that poor man at that convention and I was like, no, you were teaching them how to do this today before we leave, or I'm not buying this because I can't do this. Like my brain is not gonna work this way.
And they've got a lot of really cool stuff on their website, and they do virtual tournaments frequently also. So if we had a group that was like doing it, then we could then join some of their tournaments online and have our kids battle and that kind of stuff as well. It's really a neat program.
Liam was like 4 years old playing with Helen when he was like 11 or 12,
Yeah.
and he was getting it. And
Yeah.
he was pulling out Mount Vesuvius.
Mhm.
It was like the killer card for.
Oh yeah.
No. He always wanted his brother's packs, because he had the good packs.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's kind
all
of a-
ages can play.
You build your deck with different, combinations of different things and stuff. And so
Pokemon people.
yeah, it's a similar kind of a feel with, that building your deck and
My kids would love well, let me rephrase, they've never played. I would like to force them all to participate. Swim throws a wrench in for our schedule every day of the week. Basically, we're at the pool at 3 every day.
Okay.
So not that you have to schedule this around me,
Well,
but just like.
one of the benefits of coming to our PAC meetings is that you get to weigh in on when things are
A lot of after-school activities, like a lot of the gymnastics programs, unless the girls have gotten into the homeschool groups this year, a lot of them start at 3 o'clock. A lot of just the sports things
Starts at 3.
going to be somewhere between 3 and 5 as the start time.
Right.
So
What about Thursdays? Like an earlier, like,
are we calling idea first?
I will call idea first. But like, if they say, no, we're not doing it, if we have a plan of like, okay, they're not doing it, well then
So
we could.
I do believe most of their activities where they wanted idea families to have preference, RSVPs, whatever, like, so I don't know, like, even if they're still doing it, they may not be able to guarantee, yep, any regular family could come, I think.
Well,
it
and
was a
if-
week by week basis where
Yeah.
Tina would text me, yeah, there's not very many kids today, you could come.
Right. And I've done the same thing with like those idea families who are coming to chess club is please just make sure you're signing up on our sign up list so that we can see how many because we do have a limited number of boards. So if they say no, we don't necessarily have room for you guys, we could have a group and they could have a group and we could have battles between us and do tournaments that way. So, but if we did like a Thursday from 1 to 2, that would be kind of the same time frame as some of these other things. We wouldn't want to do it the last Thursday, that's when you've got Adventures in Bookland, but we could do it either, do you know how frequently they were doing it? Was it every week? Or maybe we could do it every other,
I'm
like
sure they told me.
first and third Thursday,
I know
or,
this is planning way ahead, like starting in January.
I know,
Start, I think they only offered Thursday for the full homeschooling classes.
okay.
Um,
And I haven't looked at the schedule.
well, I don't know if like the time and day needs to change for the next semester. It's months away. That should be
They
fine.
offer homeschooling ski lessons on Fridays, because I
Did they?
know.
They usually
Yeah.
have Monday, Thursday, Friday, but
Yeah.
different ones have different times.
And some of them were like 6-week sessions that a lot of that were on different days.
They don't
But
have
the
this-
email I got was Thursdays only, and we could pick morning or
Well, so the ski lessons open for registration on August 21st.
a week from
So
today.
maybe can we put a
Yeah.
can we put a pin in that one on scheduling
Yes.
until we find out what homeschool classes Eagle Crest is offering,
yeah.
I know they are offering,
so that we don't have to shift it
I will tell you,
midwinter.
I will tell you
Yeah.
exactly what they're offering because I already have that information. It's been in the last couple weekly newsletters.
Get her.
Let's see. It is. Okay. Got so many extras in the last few weeks stuff. Okay, there we go. Okay, registration opens next Wednesday. Homeschool 10-week lesson program. The lesson days Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday are the options. The lesson times are 1:30 to 3. And it's January to March. Okay. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Are all levels, or do they have that? Because like
Yeah, well, that's how it has been. Where
like you can get your kids like we ski powder pilots and mountain explorers or whatever the boarding equivalent is to that on all 3 days.
yes, that's how it's always been.
Okay.
The only thing that has changed is like because it's a first come first served basis. If like certain levels fill up right away, then that's where it may be like, okay, we don't have any more room for that level on this day of the week, so you can choose this or that. And that's where signing up right away is valuable. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so that's where it's tough because it's like, well, we've got activities on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, so you know, if we can't avoid all 3 days.
Is it? Sorry. Does it say morning or afternoon sessions?
No, it only says 1:30 to 3.
Okay.
So we could move stuff to mornings, but a lot of people on their Eagle Crest ski day, they like to just go up and all day is then skiing because their ski pass lasts for the whole day. So once that starts, or maybe we do a fall semester.
You're probably just gonna see people peter out
Yeah,
once for like the ski stuff because you're not gonna avoid it. Like you've got
right.
Friday you know, story time and movies and lunch bunches and just things. So you're not gonna.
Yeah.
What was the most popular day? Was it Thursdays that most parents picked?
I would shoot for Friday, just to have that like half of our week head into the weekend and just be like, all right, that's what I'm. But my kids have never been eligible for it because I wasn't gonna do different days, and Hannah was not. They won't let them do it until they're
They're
first grade. I think they have to be 6,
Yeah.
even if they've successfully passed several
They have to be
winters
6
in
by
BC.
December 1st.
Were there public school days also?
Weekends.
There are weekends.
So
These
they're
are
just
specifically-
weekends now, because before they were sharing the days, right?
They have like some other special stuff. Like I know at FCCS they go up and they have a couple of times, but those ones are usually in the morning.
Okay.
Like their stuff is in the morning and the homeschool lessons are in the afternoon.
We would go in the afternoon with the school buses. I hate them. It's public school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, like,
They didn't look like
homeschool parents would like avoid if there was like a group coming in, they're like, no, we're not
Yeah.
going on that day, so.
Yeah. I think way back in the day, it used to be that Ravens Day was Thursday, Ideas Day was Friday, and independent homeschoolers were Monday. And so a lot of our longtime families kind of got it in a reign of Thursday is Ravens Day. But then, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, they decided, okay, we're going to do our registration different because we used to do it where we collected paper forms and we just collected them all up until the due date and then sent them all to them. So in one batch, they got everybody that had signed up with us on that, for that day. But they discovered that, there's a lot of friends between the different programs and people wanted to switch and do this and that. And so then once they opened up the online registration, just made life so much easier, sending families right there to sign up, get registered for which of the days they want. So it's really nice.
I feel like this is a newbie question, but Liam doesn't want to do lessons. He says he was learning. So I want to get him up on the mountain more so than just the weekends. And are we allowed to buy him a pass and just go up and just paying the other moms?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just,
You can get my kids season rentals and their lift tickets last
With
year.
no lessons.
No, well, they did lessons, but it's like the season rental was well outside of like their ski period, as were
Because there needs to be at least a lesson.
as long as that's
Such swim.
no, as long as it's on PE.
Nope. Yeah,
It's
we can do swim passes.
Is that
So-
a new thing?
In about 4 years ago, maybe they changed it.
Okay.
Yeah, because it
Because
used to
when we
be.
first started swimming, I was like, can I just go swim? And
Yeah.
I had Teresa, she's like, nope, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's changed a few years ago. Where to support that, because like, okay, this is what they're doing. Parents can, we can't pay you to teach your kids, but we can reimburse you for the pass to go, so you can then teach your kids.
Maybe it wasn't a new question.
No, that was a good
We're not
question.
noobs.
Never.
We're just learning this. Right?
Never feel bad about asking a question. You
Just
want,
everything.
yes.
Does Liam just go up on his own?
We'll just go up on it. We'll go on like, no. Crazy. Alan can't be up there because he's working now.
Yeah, keeping him busy, that's for sure.
So if
I don't think any of mine should be released freely yet, but
Well, and that's but that's your prerogative then as a parent of like, okay, but yes.
like Luke doesn't want to learn the blind diamond stuff. Like he's comfortable where he's at, so like I could just get him a pass.
I can go with Liam.
I turned
They'll
my
go
boys
together.
loose, but I was like, you can't go up. Armageddon. Like you have to stay on like the lower.
Yeah.
You don't be confined to the bunny hill, but you don't have to go up the big lift either. Like you gotta just
I
settle
feel better
for
about
like
that too.
green and blue, and then you're fine.
Just get walkie talkies.
I
You
need
get
a
a
brand.
set,
I need
and
a
I'll get a
brand
set.
that like works because I've had somebody recommend we use this. I watched them use it, but then I couldn't find it anywhere online.
That's frustrating.
Suggestion.
Yeah.
Was that?
It was her brand. I couldn't find it.
Hmm.
I mean, I probably could have searched harder on Google, but like I asked her midway through the season, and then I didn't remember I was like, we're halfway done. By the time these things arrive in the mail, what's the point?
We could just fly our drones up there and just watch where
There you
go.
Love it.
No, they're good.
Should be teaching a drum class while their lessons are going. There you go.
Yeah. Just sending my film.
Yeah. So cool.
You guys go watch our children. Cool. So
That doesn't answer the question though about like we just need to.
Yeah, so I'll reach out to IDEA. If they're not gonna let us, then we'll do Thursday, the, like first and third. Like the first and third Thursdays. That way we avoid Adventures in Book Club,
Which is the last one.
which is the last one.
Okay.
Or should we just do it once a month and just do it on the second? The second Tuesday, Thursday. Once a month or twice a month?
I feel like twice a month. Once a month would I feel like they lose interest.
well, if kids are sick or whatever, then they miss it for like
Then they-
a
yeah.
whole month. instead
Right.
of-
Yeah.
Okay. First and third if we end up doing it.
If maybe at the open house, like for somebody that's played before, could you like an intro? And like if Beth is gonna sit there with like books, like these are the books we're bound to like prepare.
Right.
But you
Does
could
Helen have a
gauge
set?
some interest
Stuff? Okay, because I've got stuff too. I was gonna say I could bring ours.
and then for parents to look through it and know if they're gonna need a tutor.
There's a lot to it. I
Every
love
once in a while, I'll find a random card in the house, and I'm like, yeah.
No. I do. I'm like
I love that they do create a card contests. So you can submit new cards for them to add to the stuff, and like you pick the person and the event or that kind of stuff, and like put in what you would think its powers should be and that kind of thing. And so they've got these create a card contests periodically, and it's just so fun. We submitted some the very first one that they did.
Did you say if there was like a group that might be thinking of a different curriculum that we were talking about, but that if there was enough people wanting to like get a discount on the sets.
Look on their website. They just recently had some back to school sales, and I put it in the newsletter a couple weeks ago, I think. So that extras section is always valuable. I'm on their email distribution list, so I get emails from them every week. And so anytime I see sales or discounts or special things, I try and put it in that extras section. But yeah, if you sign up for their newsletter, you'll get to see all that stuff.
Creating a masterpiece.
Creating a
That was
masterpiece.
something
That's the
okay.
one I'm still working on. We have not been able to, despite many of us reaching out, have not heard any response back. Yeah. So, okay. Are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
One-time activities. Alan Ring Whale Watch. So, here's the response I got about inquiring for setting something up. They said, the first gal who responded to me said, we'd love to help schedule a tour for you. We need to know what details you're looking for a date range or number of people, that kind of stuff. So the other gal that wrote to me said, based on, she's giving us an idea on costs for whale watching tour options. So like for a 90 passenger vessel with the education discount, $725 an hour. She said they're typically 3 hours, or 140 passenger vessel with the education discount, $875 an hour. Typically what we've done is rented the whole boat for us. And then we've said, okay, if we can have this many people and it's gonna cost us this much, we divide it up. And so that way everybody's cost is manageable. The tricky part is if we don't fill it up, then our activities fund has to eat the cost for the number of people that didn't fill those spots, So I was looking on their website, and they've got like all kinds of different options. Let's see, should have had separated. But like on their tours, they've got whale watching and wildlife quest stuff, and there was ones to. This one's just like a 3-hour cruise, doing the whale watching and wildlife stuff. But there was another one that looked cool, which was, we've done Tracy Arms several times, which is fine, but we usually do the Tracy Arm Fjord Tour round trip that's like 8 hours long. And some people are like, that's a little too long for my kids to be, on the boat that whole time. I thought that this one sounded cool. Whale Quest and Orca Point Lodge. So it's the 3-hour cruise with our salmon bake. They provide the salmon bake lunch, snacks, and beverages. And so it's like they're at Orca Point Lodge, which is on Cold Island. I've never been there.
It's beautiful.
But it sounded cool. We haven't done one before that has food involved. It's just been, the 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. Yeah, I know, I didn't say it right. Anyway, so I don't know if we would just want to do a, 3-hour whale watch cruise to go and see them, or if we would want to see if we could do one like this. She was saying what the cost was for just like the whale watch tour. I don't know what the cost would be for doing one like this that has that in it. I was waiting to respond because it was just yesterday that or Tuesday, I guess.
It's a nice idea, because then it's just one less thing the parents have to plan for.
Right, because we packed the
snacks and
lunch.
the drinks and all of that
Mhm.
stuff is taken care of, and you're not even having to hassle with it.
Right. Yeah, not having to deal with any of the food because we did like lunch, bring your own lunch kind of stuff before. She said based on what spot we go out of, if it's out of Statter Harbor, there's an additional $1.87 a person fee because of the location versus going to if we can coordinate bus transportation to the Allen Marine facility by the ferry terminal, there's no additional harbor fee. But I feel like, which one's Statter?
Statter is the Off Bay Harbor.
Okay, and that's where
And
we'll
Allen
stop by.
Marine,
Yeah.
Allen Marine takes all of the tourists for the most part out of
That's-
the next spot by the ferry terminal.
Okay.
And they let all of the tour buses drive down onto their loading
Right.
dock or whatever.
Right, but we can't do that because they said you can't have any of the individual vehicles down there.
Right.
So last year, we just did it out of the regular Statter Harbor spot there up Off Bay. And it seemed like that was worth it because there were spots to park and all of that. It seemed a lot easier. Well, usually we've done it in September. But that's what she said, when do you want to do it? And so I know that we're somewhat flexible because it's kind of especially with all the tourist kind of things, it's when do you have available? When can you do? Typically it's been kind of after the cruise ships have pared down or are near the end of their season. So we've done it usually kind of mid-September. And it seems like it's usually been good. We've always seen good stuff for each of our things.
It'd be fun, especially if you've never done it and
Yeah.
it's different from what you've done in the past.
Okay.
What was the price point for that one?
Well, she said it's for a 90-passenger vessel with the education discount, it's $7.25 an hour, and for 140, it's the $8.75 an hour. But for like a 3-hour tour, I don't know what the cost is for this one that includes that hour stop for the salmon bake stuff. I imagine it'll add a bit, but I don't know how much, the food element of it would be. Yeah, I mean, fresh grilled Alaska salmon, chicken kebabs, and breaded delicious side dishes and desserts. Sign me up. That sounds awesome. So I can ask about that and just say, we're looking at September. We'd like to do, if we could, the Whale Quest and Orca Point Lodge. And see what that would be. I think it wouldn't be hard to fill a 90. I think it would be hard to fill 140. There's not that much different per hour, but when you consider if it's 3 hours and then plus the extra, I could calculate it out to see what the price per person would end up being, to see, what that would be like. But I know we've filled 90 before, and usually we've ended up, if we're getting close and not being able to get it full, we've then put it out there in the community of like, okay, invite your friends. we just need this filled up, So it was like not just open to any random person, but like friends of Raven families. So hey, you go to IDEA, your friends through this or that, come on over and join, or family members that are, grandma, grandpa, that kind of thing too. We've done so. We were fine. Oh, good. We have somebody else watching. Yay! Good stuff. Yes.
Question I might have missed.
No.
Stepped out for a second, but have you guys looked at any other vendors like Louis Jurgens, the Lighthouse Tours, which that's newer to Juneau. That vessel, I think they're licensed to take 48 people on the island at one time. So not saying that holds as many people, but that might be another avenue to look into because that's something very different.
Totally asking.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it. We've just used Allen
Yeah, and
Marine
that's a
for
smaller
this stuff for
vessel, so
years.
like maybe you could do one day, and then if a lot of people are interested, you could have a second day that's all Raven families, and that gives more people opportunity to be able to join because maybe it's their
Right.
schedule.
And I wonder if he would, I feel like with Allen Marine, it's kind of like over the tourist season, or like right at the end of the tourist season, there's not, if there was the Lighthouse tour, that might even be able to be done a little bit later I don't know what the weather's like,
Yeah,
how that, like how long
I know
he
there's
operates.
a permitting thing, but I don't know how it works, but I
Right.
definitely could ask for you as well.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. And I can reach out to him too, because I haven't gotten his contact information.
Okay.
Just regular contact information, I don't know about, business contact info.
Oh, it's
but-
the same.
Same thing, okay.
Yeah, he'll answer the phone for you.
Okay. Sweet. Well, I will check into that and let them know, that's what we would like to look into and see. Obviously, if it is in September, September's right around the corner, so we're gonna have to get on it like pretty quick because usually they require the deposit and all that kind of stuff. So typically what we've ended up doing is we've paid the cost out of our activities fund and then have families pay us back. And then we just put the money back into the activities fund that way. And we've got an online payment portal that makes it so simple. So that way I don't have to deal with cash and checks and all that kind of stuff. So it's really, really nice and easy. So I will pursue that then. That's how far I got. Dog sledding, I reached out by phone and email and haven't heard. So it's in progress as much as I'm able to get it in progress. The main thing I wanted to spend today working on is where we're now at, which is open house for next week. I would love to have some help collaborating on preparing, and maybe what we just need to do is say who's interested in helping and set a separate meeting time to work just on that. But usually for open house, we'll have some food, we'll have some games or activities, we'll have a scavenger hunt, we will have photo booth for school ID cards, we'll have freebie curriculum and stuff that you'll be getting, and all the signups for the activities. Go ahead.
Sorry. This is not related, but it's backtracking
Go ahead.
a little bit. I don't know if anybody else saw, but if your kid's in the 5th grade, Raven, or
5th grade passport for Eagle
yeah,
Crest.
I don't know if you've, I'm not the best about checking the newsletters, but I don't know if anybody else is parenting a 5th grader this year, but that's a huge savings.
And they're pretty good about anytime a 5th grader signs up for something to, promote that
Okay.
there. But yeah, any 5th grader gets free lift tickets for the year. All you need is a student ID to show that you're in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
All my kids are in fifth grade.
Forever.
yeah. No, thanks for that's a good reminder. It's in there, but sometimes it gets tucked under stuff and not broadcast as broadly. I should just pull up all of our 5th grade families and say, don't forget! Send a message directly to them. So for the open house, we had decided on a dinosaur theme, partly because we just did a dinosaur theme for our VBS, and so I've got all sorts of everything right at hand that we can grab from the decorations and stuff. We did some really fun snacks throughout the week, and the kids really enjoyed some of them, so I could, kind of pull from those to be like, okay, what snacks do we want to do? Does anybody want to make some and bring, that type of a thing? We can do other kind of stuff too, but I was doing a lot of research for, all of that. I've got 2 dinosaur blow-up costumes and my fun dinosaur dresses, and so I would love to have help working on open house specifically, and so maybe we even just need to say we'll set a time to work on open house together, but the fact that it's a week from tomorrow is processing romance has been a lot the last few weeks. So I've not gotten onto all the activity things that I need to be doing. Does anybody want to try and set a time to collaborate or work on open house stuff together? Some putting together some games. I've got some different game ideas that we had from VBS too, with Ring the Triceratops, and it was had cones for the horns and the horns. There's ring toss like that. There's one with a big T-Rex mouth to throw the bean bags through. I've got a whole dinosaur Pinterest board
So
right
do
now.
you need help planning, or you need volunteers to help when it's time to set up?
Both.
Okay.
So the more that we can get people involved, where it's okay, you're managing this station, you're managing this station, you're managing this station, instead of me trying to do all of it, would be super helpful. If it's hey, I'll do snacks, or hey, I'll take on games, or hey, I'll do, I usually put together a scavenger hunt so they can go to different areas of the office and find different things so they know where, what's the point of an open house? Well, getting to know your friends and who's homeschooling and seeing meeting up with people who you haven't seen in a long time and being oh, you homeschool too? we've had a lot of those moments in our office over the last couple weeks of people coming and going to meetings and being like, what, you're a Raven family also? So it's a time to get connected with each other and also to see what things we have available at the office and, that kind of stuff. So the scavenger hunt is usually pretty fun. We like having treats. You'll help with food? I love you helping with food. I can show you some of the ideas that I had and the things that we did, and I do have a lot of extra gummy dinosaurs because we bought like uber amounts of gummy dinosaurs.
You know you're gonna get prehistoric dirt cups with a dinosaur.
That's what we did. We did those, and they were
Those are always big hits.
so much of a hit. Yes. So I do have lots of gummy dinosaurs I can contribute.
Do you want to send out an email with whatever day and time works for you to plan the meeting? Possibly early or in the day before 3 o'clock. I can assist. I can't say I can be there from 2 to 4 on the day of. I can help with something else.
Monday the 21st. Yeah, that'd be great.
Because that's the only day that doesn't have something on it.
Might as well fill that in then.
You might as well not enjoy that free time at all.
Yeah. I don't have Marvelous Mondays yet, and Joan is the only teacher in the office. So, what time works for you guys? Because I'm
It's literally wide open.
I'm
It's the
open
only day.
until 3.
What do you think? 10? Is that not too early? Is that a good 10 work? Okay. 10 a.m. Monday. And then I can bring I can bring in the decorations and all sorts of different stuff that I have from VBS stuff to be able to say any of this or all of it or whatever we can use. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing that says we couldn't even start decorating or doing anything that we need to in preparation for it. The only thing happening between Monday and Thursday is chess club, so we wouldn't want to, keep them from being able to do stuff here, but we could totally do other stuff. So, sweet. So, shall we just say, anybody who can come, 10 o'clock on Monday, I can even put it out there if we're going to be meeting about open house, anybody who wants to contribute to our dynamic, dino-tastic, I can't remember the word I was using, dynamite, I don't know, thing. Please come.
No, you're like the yin to my yang when it comes to parties. It's like you're all about the theme and I'm all about the food.
Yes,
The
and I'm
match is
terrible
the
at food.
theme.
I'm terrible at food. I love eating food. I hate being in the kitchen. It's just the worst thing ever.
Sweet.
Okay, 10 a.m. Monday, that's when we'll really focus on open house prep. So then we can race through the last of this and send everybody on their way. School photos, just got that coordinated a day or two ago with Campus Photography, who's done it for us before. And I'm in contact with another one. Starts with an L.
Life Touch.
No. It's one, he works at the ice skating rink. And he reached out to me about doing pictures also. So I was thinking we could do like 2 different options, one in September, maybe one in October, or one later, one beginning, one end, because they usually fill up and then the people are like, oh no. So, September 1st, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., I'll send out the schedule. The last few years, we've done 10-minute increments, and I mean, they're quick. They just like whip through it. So you just pick a 10-minute time slot and come in for that, and come and go, and they send you all their stuff and everything. So
That's 10 minutes for the family.
yeah, it doesn't. They're really fast. Some people have signed up for like 3 different slots for 3 kids, and like, no. You do not need 30 minutes. You need 10 minutes for up to like 4 kids. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, it takes like 2 minutes.
My
But
kids are professional at getting their photos taken, so
that's awesome.
I was just making sure all they needed one slot.
Yeah, one
It's
slot's
really
good.
cute until we have to do like professional photos, and then I end up instead of like their good smiles, then I end up with
The
them like growling in the camera. Like, can you not?
Mostly the 10-minute slot is because of having the buffer when people don't show up on time.
Okay.
So there's that element of not having the domino effect. If I scheduled them every, 5 minutes, we would just miss this whole thing. So it seems like doing them 10 minute slots. We've had enough throughout the day for those who do want to sign up, and it's usually just the people who are not paying attention that are like, or are out of town, or sick, or whatever. There's plenty of reasons for missing it. So I'll get that put out. He just sent me the link to the online payment stuff yesterday. So a whole bunch of these things literally have just happened in the last day or two, which is awesome. Fall picnic at Sandy Beach. We usually do it in September. I think at this point we should wait to set it until we know when the whale watching is going to be.
Well, that and
Sandy Beach is still far apart.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
They replaced the place
Yeah.
now.
Oh, I
Posted
forgot
a
about
day
that.
there on August 4th, but the kids couldn't get on the playground, and the closed-in cabin is still not available for reservation.
Oh, well, scratch that then.
So, but I
Because
think it
Sandy
was
Beach is the
supposed-
best place for the fall one because of the enclosed
I
thing.
think it was supposed to be done in September, but you can check with Parks and Rec
Okay.
to find out when it's available for rent again.
Okay.
But-
If we wait much later than September, it is just nasty weather, nasty. But usually in September, we still have a little bit of, in between. We can do it at other places. Usually we've done the fall one at Sandy Beach and the spring one at Aqua. We tried Twin Lakes one time, the playground there, the Castle Park. We nearly got blown away. It was so windy and stormy, and we were huddled all under the thing and can we leave yet? Wasn't super fun. So
Not Jumbo Jimmy.
It's just,
well, they're supposed to.
just so that,
charge over there, but
I know that it's hard, but it's the same with trying to plan any kid's birthday parties or anything.
Yeah.
You have to set it in advance.
Right,
And you know the
weather's.
weather's probably gonna suck.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if there's just an indoor option.
or Field House.
Fieldhouse can't have any food.
Yeah, it's
So it can't be.
But don't they have that section off the side?
It's
where
this big.
Oh, gotcha. I haven't been in there.
Yeah. I only been in there for the first time when we did a field day in the spring, and it was super cool for the activity. And I need to get back in touch with them about trying to schedule some stuff. We were talking about if we could do a once a month field day thing because it went so well in the spring. But yeah, they're no food, water bottles are it, but on the side and that kind of thing. So
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So, never mind.
I don't know anything about the Jumbo Gym, but I can ask.
Is there anything
They're also
they
there.
check about food?
Are they?
Yeah.
Their space is larger than the field house, but as far as a full Raven,
They
Yeah.
might be thinking.
I don't think we'd all fit. You gotta
It's
go in
usually-
groups
Yeah,
that's
for
true.
food.
Yeah.
It's usually a pretty big event. Our fall
Yeah.
picnic is a
Okay.
fun,
Is there anything that might be UAS or Eagle Crest? Or no?
I don't know.
So it was last month. There was a group having a party there at the cabin.
Which cabin?
At the Sandy Beach cabin.
Oh.
I mean, the playground was still torn up.
Coast Guard was not allowed to use the cabin
I
on the
wonder how
4th,
this group
on
got in
August
there.
4th.
It's
It was, it was,
Oh, August 4th.
yeah, it was
Okay, this was
August.
July.
Maybe they hadn't torn it up.
Maybe they hadn't torn that
Yeah.
side up yet.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah, but on August 4th, we did not have access. It was okay because that day was nice, but we did not have access to the Coast Guard cabin.
I'm really glad I sent that because I wouldn't have known.
She was checking.
Okay.
They're just doing a particular part now. They'll open this date to this date, then they'll open it back up.
And maybe if we do a big whale watch and whale quest and lodge and all of that kind of thing, hey, that could replace our fall picnic of just big. I mean, it's nice when it's not.
Other than that, there's a fee.
Yes,
And if
right.
there's
This doesn't
any
have any
families that has a barrier.
We can reimburse this from allotment if they have science. And we can do one parent, so we can do one parent and the kids' cost. We've done it where it has to be reimbursed versus us taking it directly from allotment just because of the way it works, but I might be able to change that up this year. I could probably see about taking that directly based on how I need to do it. But yeah, we can, as long as they have science on their plan because it's a science activity, we can reimburse. So that makes it more affordable. So if there's like a second parent or other family members or whatever that aren't used to
Schedule it during the workday, it probably won't be.
right. Good stuff. Yeah, I will take a look at what we could do for taking it directly out of allotment. Okay. High school creativity camp in September is full. There's this way to be signed up for the waiting list if anybody else that didn't get to sign up, is interested in case somebody drops out. But we are really excited about that. And then about learning how all the gear and all the equipment works so that we can then do other stuff.
I just now realized there was just that sign.
I tried so hard to Letitia that yesterday. I said, Letitia, I failed. It's on two sides. Read with Raven. I don't need to say anything about that. Monthly book orders will start. I haven't gotten the flyers yet for this, so it might not start until next month because usually they'll come in the mail and we're already this far through August, so maybe that they're not going to get up to us until September. Select book fairs scheduled. Fall map testing window is in September. I'm waiting for the exact dates. We were just reaching out to our testing person this week, this last week about it. Last week we asked about it. So it's there's 2 different weeks we're going to do this. It's a long window in September, but based on everything that's going on at the office, I think it's going to be the first 2 weeks of September is when I'm going to be able to manage doing the proctoring for it. So I'm just waiting for the sign-up deadline information, which I'm hoping should get us in the next day or 2, so I can get that out there and have everything posted for next week also with open house. We definitely recommend doing it. It's only fall and winter because then the spring one incorporates it with the AK Star. So it's really nice to be able to do it during these ones to get those results.
For the AK Star one, since the map is integrated, we got test results from you.
Yep.
Is that all of them, or are we waiting for separate?
We're waiting for the
Okay.
AK Star stuff, and our Anchorage admin was asking me about it today too, and she's like, "Do you know when we're going to get this?" I said, "No."
Okay.
I said I sent all of the map pieces of it to our families as soon as it was available, which was as soon as it closed, then it was there. And she's like, "Oh, I didn't do that." It's like, well, nobody told us to. I just did it because that's what I was,
I was hoping they were integrated because mine did the maps in the fall and winter,
Mhm.
and the spring one, they kind of bombed. Maybe it's because it's both results attached to one.
Yeah, that one is the map piece of it, and then you'll get the AK Star piece of it whenever they get it to us. But I know, it really seems like it should be sooner. I don't
Yeah.
understand what the holdup is.
Okay.
Because we have literally heard crickets. We have as staff, we've heard nothing about it.
Okay.
We had to reach out ourselves, a couple of us admin, to say, hey, map testing is starting anytime now. When are you going to give us the information? So
Okay.
we're trying. As soon as we hear anything, we'll definitely let families know. But the map testing again will be the at the home remote testing opportunity where you get to do it, your own selves and stuff, which is really nice and easy for everybody. Some important dates and reminders. Oh, anybody have questions about testing before I move on, just so I don't race too far behind that? Okay. Our office will be closed for Labor Day, Monday, September 4th. The teachers have in-service in Fairbanks, and they're going to be gone the 19th to the 21st, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Some of them are off on Monday, and some of them are off on Friday because of that. So that week is going to be practically barren. This year, they're also sending all of the admin and clerks up for one day of it, which for the other offices is no big deal because they're close enough where it's just that day that they're closed. For us, trying to get us up to Fairbanks for this one day in service means we have to leave midday on Wednesday and we don't get back until midday on Friday. So I don't know exactly what the closures are going to look like, if we're going to be open on Wednesday morning, get on the plane Wednesday afternoon, fly up all day Thursday in service, and then Friday fly home, get back in the afternoon and open the office. I'm hoping they don't do that to us.
I'm
Yeah, no.
So I don't know exactly.
Juneau should have special exceptions.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy. Poor Callan is going to get to experience the whole thing with me too. But luckily, they got us seats in the same row on the planes and stuff. So we at least get to experience it together. We've got a buddy doing this whole thing. So I don't know whether it will be all closed all day for 3 days, which is huge. We've never done that. It's huge if we close for even one day. That's not a holiday. So I don't know yet exactly what that's going to look like, how much we're going to need to work, and how much we're going to be closed and not available. But we will definitely try to keep serving our families as best we can during that crazy time. remember the allotment doesn't get set up until enrollment paperwork is complete, so that's an important reminder, not necessarily a date other than in the last, 2 days with local schools starting, people are calling going, when does school start for us? How do I get started? Well, you need to have a meeting with your teacher. We've been trying to get that done. So, I can't remember what our total number of pending is, but we've at least got more active than pending, which is good, but we still have a lot of pending families to get cycled through. So, if you haven't done that yet, I think all of you are good. But online, if you haven't done that yet, reach out to us, get it scheduled. We need to meet with you so we can do that. The next PAC meeting, because of the whole September thing, that's when we normally would have our third Wednesday PAC meeting, so we're gonna have to bump it up a week. So the next PAC meeting will be September 13th instead of whatever the 21st. No, that wasn't 7, 8, 9, 10, 20th. Yeah, because it's Wednesday. We'll be leaving that day, and I don't, with what timing it is and everything, it just wouldn't be possible unless we did it in the morning. And I don't know. Yeah.
Don't even put that on yours.
Right. So we're gonna bump it to the week before. Our next, the Ravenwide PAC meeting with Kim will be August 30th, so that she'll give overall stuff, and hopefully at that one she'll be able to give some more information about testing and other stuff coming up and stuff too. I haven't seen the agenda yet, but I imagine she'll probably get it to me pretty soon, so I can get it sent out. You see what I did? I finally remembered to do. I switched it. So the questions, feedback, final ideas is finally at the end, and future meetings on the other side.
Well done, Helen.
I looked at it and almost forgot again, but I was like, why do I have these arrows here? Oh yeah, I've been saying this for 3 months. I need to switch them around. And it's door prize time. So I've got 2 online, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, right? Yep, okay. I've got Sarah online and Colleen. If there's anybody else online that's watching that hasn't posted, let me know, because I can only see if you have added a comment, and I've only got 2 comments. So I'll give you 5 seconds because there's a couple second time delay. If you are online and hearing this message, put your name in the box. It only shows me these 2 right now. So, while they're doing that, I'm giving them a second. This month's door prize, since it's the start of school, I assembled a fun little school supplies goodie thing. There's a, little pencil pouch with all sorts of goodies in it, including dark chocolate, because, you guys need that.
Dark chocolate.
I understand that. I have 2 piece days. I have 4 piece days. It's my little Dove dark chocolate stash, so I'm sharing my stash with you. There's a whiteboard. There's a teacher planner. There's Expo markers, there's an eraser in there, and all sorts of goodies. So, nobody else has posted. We will spin to win. Who's gonna get it this time? Da-da-da-da. Colleen is joining us online. She's not able to join us in person usually, but yay, Colleen! I will get you your cool goodie bag for participating. See, even joining remotely, if you can't make it in person, matters. So, any other questions, comments, anything that we could do to support you better or whatever? There's a lot, I know.
Absorbing it all.
Absorbing it is a lot, and I am so thankful for every one of you who comes, participates, contributes. It's such a huge deal to not be doing it alone. Because I want to do it for you, but it definitely helps to not be doing it alone. And Kellen is amazing and is such a great teammate to do stuff with. I told him today, I was like, I'm going to really try. 1 hour. He's like, it's okay. I understand. I'm like, but I'm really going to try. He's like, okay. So, thank you for coming. We'll get the goodie bag to Colleen. And I gave everybody their badges, right? So, yay. And if you come to the Ravenwide one, whether it's in person or online, that will count towards your number of attendances for the badges as well. I would love to have to make a platinum one this year. I only made up to gold last year. We didn't have anybody get gold last year because I kind of started late the year. But I think it'd be fun. So, all right. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to end our broadcast here. You're fine.